Man, do you think we're ever going to reassess things on the list? Because Mr. Beast just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
No, like we applied our sciences correctly on the list.
I do believe, I've not listened to our program, but I do believe we called every single thing that Mr. Beast has done. It's now happened, right? We did that?
Are you saying we manifested it?
Well,
like we caused it to come into being?
I wasn't going to say that, but...
We'll take credit for his crimes, sure.
We didn't cause it to happen, but we suspected based on how he looks and what he does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, like we've applied our sciences correctly and judged him appropriately. The list is concrete and cannot be questioned. But by the way, I was actually going to put a list online.
Oh, yeah.
So that way everyone can look at the list because I know that it's hard to keep it in the old noggin.
Do you want me to make a website? Do you want me to do that?
I mean, I was going to make. I have.
Well, I mean, you do.
I have a license for the websites.
Okay.
So I have space for it.
You've taken a lot of the work on, and I thought I would volunteer to take some of it on, even though I would have no idea what to do on computer. But I think it would be very funny.
Yeah,
it'd all be formatted badly.
I mean, I could do like rainbow font.
Well,
one where they like alternate colors.
I was definitely leaning into the Jackie Chan welcome to my webpage.
Hi, I'm Jackie Chan. I'm going undercover in the internet.
I want it to be that real bad.
Is this part of the podcast? Like, are we going to talk about Jackie Chan's welcome to my webpage?
Well, that's not something we hate. Let's talk about something we hate. We hate the people who didn't like trap because we like trap.
We like trap. I understand the people that didn't like old. Right? But I cannot understand the people that didn't like trap. Trap was a delight.
Yeah, I'm a long time Shyamalan lover defender.
Wow, that's a mouthful. Yeah, no, like people were down on him after Signs. I'm like, no, you're just not understanding what type of movies he makes.
Yeah,
he makes classic schlocky fun horror movies.
Yeah, weird, off-putting, not realistic, stilted dialogue, strange movies.
It's the non-realistic thing I think that people get turned off on, which I don't get. Hey, turn off the AC. It's getting freezy here.
You just can hear it, can't you?
I don't know if I can, but turn off anyways.
Oh, man, I'm going to get so sweaty.
No, it's going to be
We're
fine.
having hot soup and you want me on a 90-degree day and you'd make me... Okay, AC is off. We're going to be hot and miserable.
I mean, we deserve it.
We do deserve it because we did something bad with your money. Patreon, we did something bad. We gave it to a misogynist evil monster.
The Ace Man.
The Ace Man.
Adam Carolla. This is the Adam Carolla episode number 15. Welcome to Hate Speech. We should say the number of the episodes more.
We probably should.
It's fun.
You know we've done over 100 now. I counted it up. It came and went.
No, it didn't. It's been about 5 years.
It's so good.
It is.
Once the taste is on your tongue, you'll only crave.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. Mandate to get it on. No choice but to get it on.
I'm going to get it off, if you know what I mean.
I think we're talking about the same thing. That's right. Adam Carolla. Did you like how I did his little intro? Have you heard how he does it now?
No.
So here's the thing about Adam Carolla, which we'll explain who he and what and why, whatever.
Yeah, we got
But that's his thing. That's how he's opened up Loveline. That's how he talked on his podcast for years. Get it on. Got to get it on. Mandate to get it on. Get it on. That's his thing. But now it's get it on. Got to get it on. Get it on. Like he just...
Well, he's been doing this for 3 decades.
Yeah, but when you give up on your own stupid shit, you're a special kind of pathetic.
I agree.
Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on. A choice is going to mandate you get it on. Orny Adams back in studios.
So, okay, there's a couple things. One, I'm smelling the soup.
Kind of nice, isn't it?
We should talk about our object of penance right off the top.
We should.
Get it out. Got to get it out.
Get it
no
out.
choice but to get it out. It works. What is today's object of penance?
So I saw these at the Walmart on the clearance aisle for 75 cents. Today,
Drop the.
I saw these at Walmart.
See, there, it sounds better.
Wow,
Yeah.
man. Justin Timberlake was really onto something in that movie.
Yeah.
I should never look up what
And
he did.
that's how we got JD Vance.
Oh, God. So we got, for 75 cents clearance, probably expired, Campfire S'mores Cup of Noodles.
Yeah, like, what's it? With natural and artificial flavors, ramen noodles in sauce.
Yeah. So when I
It comes in a fine gravy.
and there's little marshmallows. Look, am I excited to try this? Yes.
It's been sitting on our shelf for like a good month.
Yeah.
I've been looking at this and I'm like, it's worse than I thought, actually. Like now that I'm looking at it, it does look like just ramen. Like, and I haven't mixed it up, like, but it has like that kind of like, you know, ramen sheen to the top of it.
And it smells like hot chocolate.
It smells like chemical, right?
So
I'm not a fan of chemical, you know?
that's
Like,
bullshit.
okay, well, I mean, like, there's certain chemicals. I like fake banana. I like a blue raspberry. Those are not natural things. Well, bananas are, but like not that kind of banana.
Yours had the marshmallows on top. Mine
doesn't have marshmallows on top.
One of these had marshmallows on top, so I don't know where the marshmallows
I think
went.
they might have just sunk to the bottom or melted. Who can say?
Oh, God.
Yeah, you really got to stir it up. Mix up the sauce.
The gravy, if you will.
Yeah, where are the marshmallows?
One of these had marshmallows all through the top. So
No, I think they melted.
that sucks for us, dog.
Yeah, this is just like soup.
Chocolate s'more ramen soup.
All right, let's try some.
Yeah, so Nate has a mic stand. This will probably be a little easier. I'm just going to slurp.
Okay, so Tyler's slurping it down.
Oh, that hits.
Wait, you're into it?
I'm into that.
No, this
Sweet soup. What a revelation.
no, it doesn't hit. It fails. It slides right off. The gravy isn't thick enough.
Oh, no, it's definitely...
No, like the gravy just doesn't adhere to the noodle, and so all I get is like this sweet nothing.
It's very artificial.
Like my ex-wife, as Adam Carolla would say, it's like a sweet nothing.
Yeah, Lynette Carolla. We'll get to her.
Listen, just brace yourself for a lot of ex-wife jokes. So no marshmallows yet? Like you didn't get any marshmallows?
I didn't get any marshmallows.
How's the chocolate flavor for you? You get some chocolate?
It's sickly. It's vaguely chocolate. All right, one more little bite. Hold on.
I mean, I can kind of see what they were going for. It's just like it doesn't hang on to the noodle.
I'm getting a little marshmallow taste on the noodle.
Yeah, no, that's foul.
That's foul. All right, so why don't we try and improve it? I have a way I think we can improve this.
Yeah?
So you don't like it. I'm so about it. Luckily, there's something we brought that we can add to this cup of noodles.
Yeah, our friends at Magic Mind have come through yet again with their magical elixir that I drink constantly. It's improved my brain power. Maybe it can improve the cup noodles campfire s'mores a little bit.
So the one thing you can say about Magic Mind is you can add it to anything. There's no law saying you can't add it to anything. And who's to say that, lion's mane, bacopa, cognizin, ashwagandha, L-thiamine, turmeric, rhodiola, cordyceps, and matcha, and vitamins B2, B3, B12, C, and D. Maybe that will help the taste of this ramen.
But the thing is, all those are natural ones. Like it'll counterbalance the chemical soup of the campfire s'mores.
All right, we can pour this shit in.
Pour it in there.
All right, here we go. This is truly a foul.
And it goes. No, like you pour it in and it'll make it better.
I poured in the whole thing.
Well, the mixture of the natural green color of the Magic Mind into the brown of the campfire s'mores does not look good. But again, there's no laws against doing this.
You can absolutely do this. All right, we're gonna take a little sip of our Magic Mind.
No, I'm having more noodle actually.
Oh boy.
Yum. No, go on. Describe it.
I know we do a lot of jokes on here. The Magic Mind made the soup better. Because Magic Mind itself has a very earthy taste to it. Like, it's a natural product. It's very distinct. It's like an acquired taste. Like, if you have a sophisticated palate, you're like, oh, Magic Mind, this is good.
It's like a wheatgrass shot, like it has a funk to it, but it's not a bad funk.
And adding this to this artificial slop, it kind of hits, mate. It kind of hits. Magic Mind, you bastards, you've done it again.
This was a joke. But I think you're right. I think it makes it better.
You absolute madman at Magic Mind.
So, like, this is, I think, the official hate speech cocktail for a Magic Mind is actually dump it in some campfire s'mores and drink it.
Wow. I'm going to try just the broth now. Here we go.
Well, and like you too can have this magical concoction if you go to magicmind.com/hate speech and enter the promo code HateSpeech20.
That hits, man. Like, God damn.
By the way, our links are in the description. Go hit those links. And you too can have the Campfire S'mores Magic Mind combination.
Yeah, I hate that they made me like it.
Well, there's
the tingliness.
Let me tell you. Like, I think for Object of Penance, we deserved a little bit of a good thing because our real Object of Penance was Adam Carolla.
Yeah,
that was the real damage done to us. What did we do?
What do we want to start with? Who he is, what we did, what it means.
I was surprised by this, that people don't know who Adam Carolla is. I mean, I guess that's just the way time works. Time moves on, and people don't know the things that we knew growing up.
Right. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I know about the Civil War, even though I wasn't alive for that. You should know about how Adam Carolla joined Loveline in 1995 after being a K-rock DJ.
Okay, so that was the question I had. Is I know Adam Carolla from, at first, The Man Show. That's the first time I met Adam Carolla. You may know him from Loveline, which is the popular call-in like sex advice show.
Yeah, it was for like from the late 80s to the early 2000s. It was a staple of like nationwide radio.
Probably international, to be honest.
Yeah.
There was an MTV show that was Loveline for a bit.
Yeah, Dr. Drew and Adam did that. Which we'll get to Dr. Drew Pinsky, board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. He's on our list.
Yeah, and then like after Loveline, Adam Carolla, like I guess he has a popular podcast. I wouldn't know. I only listen to one podcast. It's Hate Speech.
Oh yeah, and that's what you should listen to. None of that other trash. Do you know there's abusers?
Where?
On podcasts?
Yeah.
Sometimes popular podcasts have abusers.
Shut up.
Look, I'm just saying, I didn't DM no 15-year-old.
I mean, what? Now I have to say that I didn't DM any 15-year-old because if you say it and I don't say it, it makes me look bad.
We'll just get this out here. We don't talk to minors. Well, I mean, coal miners, like...
Yeah, no, solidarity there.
Yeah.
I don't like talking to children.
No, it's not for me, dog.
It is kind of fun to bully them a little bit, but like that's about it.
That's it, yeah. But he, like...
He didn't do. There's no accusations there, as far as I know.
There's some problem with him, but not pedophilia.
Yes. So after that, Adam Carolla like became a darling of the alt-right.
Yeah.
He's one of the people that they cart out to say, look, we're normal and we can be funny.
Yeah.
And then they roll out Adam Carolla and stick him on No More Safe Spaces, a collaboration between Adam Carolla and
Dennis Praeger.
Praeger you.
You should be able to share ideas without fear of being fired from your job or shouted down.
You have the right to remain silent.
The only way we separate the good ideas from the bad ideas is to be free to say whatever we want about them.
Anything you say will be used against you. You can't be funny.
By the way, all those things we mentioned are up for getting their own episode.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing. We've never had someone that's like touched so many potential episodes like Adam Carolla.
It's so bad. Like, he was a pop culture fixture because Nate and I watched the first episode of The Man Show, which Man Show might also be on the list of things we cover on this podcast. But Man Show was started in 99 on Comedy Central. The whole deal was like, oh, we're going to stop the flood of estrogen ruining men. Like, that's in the first episode.
Yeah.
And just as these heroic men did more than 60 years ago, we are building a dam.
A dam to hold back the tidal wave of feminization that is flooding this country.
A dam to stop the river of estrogen that is drowning us in political correctness.
A dam to urinate off of when we're really drunk.
We call this dam The Man Show.
Going back for some more Magic Man, by the way.
Oh, but God, I'm so jealous. I want to be eating that. But he was like this comedian, kind of popular-ish guy who fell in with like edgy comedians because he had Crank Acres. That was a show on Comedy Central.
Right, yeah.
He had that animated show, Drawn Together. That's what it was.
Yes, yeah. Well, he just did the voices. Like he did a lot of like animated voices. He was Death on Family Guy for a bit.
After Norm Macdonald.
After Norm Macdonald is true.
Because Norm was too good for that shit.
I will say that I think Norm Macdonald is an ascended Adam Carolla. I think Adam Carolla is a devolved version of Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, he's the Charmander to Norm Macdonald's Charizard. See, I know Pokemon.
But I recently had to teach you how to say Clefairy.
Well, aren't you Mr. Didactic?
Yeah. See, Adam Carolla would make fun of us for this because, like, you know,
because we're soft soy boys.
Yeah,
we're using chick think,
talking about fairies. You know, I mean, like, I would describe Adam Carolla as a shock jock that has gone too far.
Yeah,
like because he has like a dry style of comedy. You know, I think that he has this observational style where he's like, well, you know, I went to the store the other day and I saw someone wearing makeup and I was like, oh, you're not a lady. What are you doing wearing the makeup? Like,
that's a pretty good Adam Carolla.
Yeah, well, okay. What's yours? Let's hear little Adam Carolla. Oh, he's in here right now. He just came in. Hi, Adam.
All women are bitches.
Wow, that's a hard way to start there, Adam Carolla.
They're fucking cunts. That's Adam Carolla.
Wow. Huh.
Please don't clip that out.
I mean, the voice, you know.
Sorry, I'll do a clean one.
Okay.
All women are bitches.
Okay.
They're cunts.
Adding that to the soundboard.
No, you're going to add it to the Carolla filter, right? You have that?
No, I do.
So a little backstory on Adam Carolla, just so you know. He did grow up lower middle class, poor-ish, father not super around, hated his mother, which that's important to everything his entire life. He hated his mother for being on welfare.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
I hate here's the thing. He probably got taught that as a child, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody saw his mother on welfare because she wasn't working because she was probably busy raising Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
And, you know, some Republican chud got him and said, hey, here's why your mother's a problem. And that is kind of like sunk into his brain.
Yeah. And which he has used that to hate women his entire life. But he he started working in contracting, which is also important to know about Adam Carolla because he considers himself still a working man. He'll be the first to tell you it's like compared to doing construction and any kind of manual labor, comedy is not work. He'll say that right out. But he does sort of have a background in like actual blue collar work.
More so than Mike Rowe.
Yeah.
Would you say? Like, yeah. I think Mike Rowe kind of like LARPs as a blue collar guy. You know, but like Mike Rowe started in like QVC stuff.
Yeah, he's a Yaley.
Yeah, whereas like Adam Carolla, like I believe that he's not a Yaley. I
believe
he
went
probably
to junior college. That was his thing.
I believe that he spent maybe 5 to 10 years doing construction.
Mm-hmm.
Like that sounds realistic. Like I believe him when he says that. I think he does know about toggle bolts and like, you know, drywall studs versus just using nails. Mm-hmm. I can't even replicate the speech because I'm not that guy.
Yeah,
I kind of wish I was. Like I wish I was a bit more handy. But like he leans into it to a point where it's like his identity a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right? Where he sees people that don't know this shit as less than, right? I was going to say emasculated, but
you don't know how to pick up a hammer. I can't.
Like, well, I think that he doesn't like women because they don't know how to like, you know, build a house or don't know construction. Mm-hmm. And he hates men that also don't know construction.
Yeah.
Right? Like anything that he likes that someone else doesn't like is bad.
Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of who he is as a person. Like that informs who he is. He hates his mother, has huge problems with women, thinks what he has experienced is the one way to do things, and the way he thinks is the absolute only way to go about things. Otherwise, you have a childish woman's brain.
Yeah. What's another like guy thing that he likes?
Boxing. He was a boxer.
He was a boxer? Yeah. Fine sport.
Yeah, made that shitty movie that I used to really like.
The Hammer?
The Hammer.
We probably should have watched that.
So we should.
Maybe we'll watch it later and do a little review thing. I don't know.
God, be the only ones talking about The Hammer in 2024. That's the Toggle Bolts joke.
Even when he talks about The Hammer, he sounds a little ashamed.
Yeah, because it was like, so here's the thing. Adam Carolla tried for mainstream success, like his good friend Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Adam Carolla put a lot of his money in this movie called The Hammer, a romantic comedy about a boxer.
Which goes to show that that's not who he is. That's not his style of comedy.
No.
He sees himself as a romantic lead / boxer.
Yeah.
When in reality, he should just be a guy wandering around complaining about things.
Yeah, which is what he's become.
That's his bit, right? And like, I just don't think he understands that about himself. He still sees himself as a man's man.
Yeah.
But like, the thing I wanted to get to was his cars, though. That's what I was trying to lead you towards instead of boxing, was his car thing.
And his toys.
Yeah, he's a man cave guy, you know?
Very much so. Like, he bought all of Paul Newman's cars. He owns a car museum with all of Paul Newman's race cars.
Which I'm just like, where did he get that money? Like,
I mean, the podcast is very lucrative.
And imagine the Loveline.
And
like, he was on Loveline for like what, 20 years or something?
Yeah, a long time. And the TV show's residuals. But I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you how he made some money. So we'll just get into this real quick. In like 2014, Adam Carolla, like, he always has sidekicks on his podcast. He has a huge podcast network. He had this podcast sidekick named Allison Rosen that he fired.
Okay.
Because Allison Rosen had her own podcast, part of the Ace Man, Adam Carolla Network, whatever the fuck it's called. And so Adam Carolla got half of her income from her podcast. They had an Amazon show thing. He got half the money for that.
Jeez.
And then the Adam Carolla Network with Joe Rogan, Mark Maron, were all contributing to a patent troll legal defense fund.
Okay.
Which was an extra $2,000-$3,000 a month that she just they were throwing money into.
They were squeezing out of like Amazon or whatever.
And she didn't want to do that because there were no defined terms on how long this would last or how long she had to contribute.
Yeah.
It was all like handshake kind of stuff. And she like wanted to keep her podcast separate. She's like, I'm part of your network, but I don't want my podcast to be branded as yours because it's the thing I built before you, and it's the thing she's had after him. And so he just fired her. He had someone write her an email saying she was fired. So that's how he gets money. He takes it from the people he hires and then he fires them.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
No.
You know. So, I mean, have we defined who he is?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, like
he's a old man angry comedian.
Who he was just misogynist shock jock.
Yeah.
Who he is now, I think, is a little different.
Much different because, and I'll kind of spoil it for the listeners here, maybe me more so than you, but we were fans of Loveline and probably Adam Carolla. I think I was more of a Carolla fan than you were.
Well, let's get into our relationship with Adam Carolla.
The Ace Man.
The Ace Man himself, right? Like, because, I had Satellite growing up. Mm-hmm. It was one of those, like, bad decisions financially growing up where it's like, boy, the roof is falling apart. I better buy a like 10 grand satellite dish.
Right. This thing was huge, by the way. We could fit on that motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you've ever seen like the big TV satellites, but like it was a big one. Anyways, the point of the story is that I got Comedy Central growing up. Mm-hmm. And so the thing that I watched on Comedy Central was a decent amount of The Man Show. Mm-hmm. Right? And because it was junior high comedy and I was in junior high at the time. So it made sense. I laughed at the things I laughed at.
Yeah.
And the things I didn't laugh at probably seeped their way into my psyche a little bit because I think like everyone's like susceptible to that to an extent.
They're susceptible to it. And growing up where we did.
Yeah.
Roseburg, Oregon. Shout out
to that shithole.
To that tiny racist shithole. We were definitely pushed to be like tough boys. Like the whole thing was, you need to be a tough boy. Haha, woman hater.
The two major events in that town was the rodeo and the races, the stock car races, right? And so I was like, okay, this is Adam Carolla land. Yeah, like so I watched a decent amount of the Man Show, and like I was in junior high at the time. And I was an edgelord, and that shit was funny.
Yeah.
Right? Looking back on it now, we watched the first episode of The Man Show, and the first episode had some real heinous shit in it.
Yeah, truly awful.
What was your favorite worst thing from the first episode?
My favorite worst thing was probably the river of estrogen that they're keeping away by being strong men. And just also cutting to the women dancing, calling women juggies. The whole we're gonna stop women's suffrage and like
that was the one I was gonna get at, was the women's suffrage thing. It's like, yeah, you can find dumb people anywhere who don't like, and it's not even dumb thing. Like it is like you just didn't learn that suffrage is different than suffering.
Yes,
because they sound similar, and so I'm going to trick some people, not all of them, because like in that segment they get called out for being like, hey, you're being kind of an asshole to this person who doesn't know what the word suffrage means.
This non-English English second language person.
Yeah, but it was just like, oh, it's a prank show to make fun of women,
and we should also say all the people who were getting pranked, all the cuts were of women. Like that was the joke. They were making women sign this thing, and the only people who were truly saying, "Hey, you're kind of an asshole," were men.
There was the
man who screamed at them,
and like the college student, because there was a college, like it looked like a grad student came up. It's like, hey, you're making fun of this woman who doesn't understand the language very well. Like, and she talked to her instead of the hosts. Yeah, Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel. It's like, hey, they're making fun of you.
Yeah,
and like I think for some reason they left that in, and now like that made me feel ooky.
Very ooky.
Right.
And that sort of there was that same DNA running through the No Safe Spaces movie we half watched because we had to turn off. It was so bad.
Before I get to that, though, credit where credit's due. I did laugh at one of the jokes in the Man Show.
Was it the monkey farting?
The monkeys farting.
Yeah.
Like, that shit's good. I'm sorry.
That shit still hits.
That juvenile humor can be funny.
Yeah.
A monkey farting into a laser and shooting lasers out of his butt is funny.
Because the joke is farts, not, hey, women.
Right. Well, exactly. And, like, they're trying to claim that also as, like, only men like this type of joke. And it's just like, you don't need to do that.
No.
Like, women can also like fart jokes.
Yeah,
they should like them more, I think.
This is 2024. Every gender can like farts.
That's right. But like, I think that entire, like, whatever, the Man Show is too much.
Yeah.
But like, I think to cap off, well, it symbolizes who Adam Carolla is, right?
Yes.
Like, I think him and Jimmy Kimmel, this was their brain nut. This
they and one other producer made this show. This was their baby.
Yeah.
And Adam Carolla used his star power from Loveline and MTV to get the Man Show made, because Jimmy Kimmel was not a star like that he is now.
Yeah.
Adam Carolla was introduced first. His name was in the credits first. Like, this was his baby.
I didn't know that he did Loveline before he did the Man Show.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah. And so it defines his character. He has not changed.
No,
right? Like,
he's gotten worse.
I feel like Jimmy Kimmel has changed. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't watch a lot of Jimmy Kimmel. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't like new late night TV.
Yeah, it's not for me.
As soon as Conan left, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Craig Kilburn was okay.
Sure.
But
none of it's for me.
Yeah. But like, Jimmy Kimmel, I feel at least has toned it down. I think he's internalized it a little bit. He doesn't seem like who he was.
Well, I think he probably realized that there's more money in being a soft lib, and more like you can get invited to more parties, have more social cachet by being a soft lib than you can being a reactionary troll, which is what Adam Carolla has become.
And it says something about him that he's still friends with Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
Not publicly, but privately, they're still buds.
Best friends, yeah. And we will get into that and what we witnessed.
Right.
Good Lord.
So Do we want to talk about Loveline? Let's talk about Loveline for a little bit.
Yeah, we listened to, so no secret to listeners, Nate and I played a lot of World of Warcraft from 2002 to 2000, what, 6, 7, somewhere in there.
Favorite dungeon, go.
Easy. It was the Caverns of Time Black Morass.
Ew.
What? I like the portals.
Yeah, okay. Karazhan.
That's a fucking raid, dude. I didn't know raids were on the table.
They were. Karazhan rules. I remember because I listened to a lot of Loveline while playing Karazhan.
Yeah, we did play a lot. When they brought Karazhan back as like multi-instance kind of run, that was so much fun.
That was good.
But I haven't played WoW in a long time.
It was a good podcast game, right?
Yes.
And I still use podcast games to this day, because like I like doing stuff with my hands and I like hearing things, right?
You should try masturbating to podcasts, dude. It rocks. Shout out to all my podjackers right now busting one to hate speech.
Yeah.
Let us know.
I mean, we can help them out a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, do it.
You're doing it.
Harder.
You're doing it.
Now do that angle.
Yeah.
Do it on that one angle that you like.
Oh, it's so close now.
Okay, let me just have a little bit of this magic mind.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Oh, I got some noodles on me. No.
Oh, he's so dirty. He's taking his shirt off. You should keep messing with your shit, listener. Oh God.
Okay, I'm glad you're finished because now
now back to business.
Back to Loveline. I mean, Loveline also too is so fucking big. There's so many. This whole Adam Carolla thing, just expanded out to me as like representation of what's wrong with men. Because men are not okay. I think that's one of the themes of this whole podcast is that men are not okay.
Not.
And Adam Carolla is kind of the prototypical man in that sense. Like he sees himself as the man's man, and I kind of agree. He is the man's man, right? Yeah. He's insecure and he's weird and he's homophobic. But hates like not women. Not like directly I hate and want to kill the gays, but more of just like I'm going to call you gay kind of a thing to make fun of you. Like that's the type of guy he is. And I think that's the stereotypical guy, right?
It is. It's like, I'm not homophobic. One of my good friends is a fag. It's
right.
Like that kind of shit.
Right. But you are gay. Because I don't like
Drew,
it.
Please.
Yeah, that was the bit on Loveline, right? That was the bit
on Loveline, yeah.
Is that the soundboard had Dr. Drew Pinsky.
Board certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Celebrity murderer.
Yeah, we have to not talk about Drew Pinsky. Yeah. He's getting one soon. He'll get his.
Yeah.
But like they were partners forever on Loveline.
Still are. They make a daily podcast together to this day.
And what sucks about Loveline to me is like I think a lot of people were calling in looking for legitimate help. They were in a vulnerable situation,
or they were like a preteen who didn't understand their body or relationships, and there was a doctor,
right,
and a vaguely funny comedian
talking to them. And they gave Jordan Peterson advice, and what I mean by that is that it's legitimate good advice, like clean your room, mixed in with bullshit.
Yeah,
right, where it's like
hateful, evil bullshit too.
Right. What was it? We were listening to Club Random.
Yeah, we watched the Club Random Bill Maher, Adam Carolla thing.
Yeah, and like Adam Carolla gave some decent advice about relationships, and I was like, that's not bad advice. I think it was about like how people grow apart in a marriage. Sometimes they grow together and it's a successful marriage, but sometimes they grow apart. I'm like,
it didn't happen for Adam Carolla.
Didn't happen for Adam Carolla, but like, okay, that's fine advice. Yeah. I think that's okay. And that was the kind of advice that they would give out on Loveline.
Yeah.
But it would always get mixed into some other sort of,
hey, weren't you molested, you little gross freak kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah, they would call it little girl voice out a lot on that show.
Yeah, that was a thing that was very gross.
Yeah, which is just like vocal phrenology. You know? It's like I can tell what happened to you by the tone of your voice. But Adam Carolla thinks he's always right.
Yeah.
He's which is like a guy thing, right? Like prototypical guy thing is like I'm always right. If you say I'm wrong, it's because you're wrong about something. Right? Like it's the man show man.
Yes. And I was having such a hard time thinking why does Adam Carolla always think he's right, until I watched a clip last night where he finally talked about why he and David Alan Grier are not friends anymore.
Oh, I love Dag. Should I still love Dag?
Yeah, Dag seems fine. He doesn't like Adam Carolla because Adam Carolla's a right-wing turd now. But that's
who would have thunk it?
That's besides the point.
He's no contact with Adam Carolla.
But that's besides the point. The point was Adam Carolla made this metaphor in his comments where he's like, we don't have to agree about everything and still be friends. You could say you like public schools, and I would say that I like, parents' choice private schools. And, we may not agree on that, but we can still be friends, even though I come to liking private schools, and there's a little more evidence showing that private schools are better for children. And he's like, I'm coming to it with truth and facts. And I'm just thinking, wait a second. Adam Carolla, you dumb cocksucker. Your facts are saying private schools are better because conservative policies have hollowed out public schools, making them incredibly awful for children. So any money and any specialized education you get from private schools is a direct result of conservative policies. And you're just ignoring that and saying private schools better and I'm right.
Yeah, that's why you don't talk to chuds. I mean, really, they'll say, my facts tell me this. And it's like, well, you acknowledge that we both have different sets of facts, in quotation marks, right? And I'm going to say mine are more valid, and I have arguments why they might be more valid. You won't listen to that, and so why bother talking? Right.
But it's the whole ignoring any context of how you get to, that's all it is.
Oh, yeah, but, they want to ignore context. They're... I think everyone's susceptible to that thinking in one way or another. I'm probably am, right?
Yeah.
But
I know I am.
Yeah, but I always like to leave room open for being wrong about things if I know that I could be wrong. Whatever, you're not going to convince me to be a transphobe or whatever. You know, but you could convince me Nate, I know you love trains and I know you love public transportation, but here's why it's wrong in some cases. I would listen. I would disagree because trains rule, but probably. But if you came with a strong enough argument, I would change. But there's no argument you could hit Adam Carolla with where he would change.
No, it has to be his idea. It has to have come to him naturally and pass whatever internal checks and manhood stats that it had to have for him to believe
it. It has to conform to his worldview of men.
Yep.
If I made the train argument towards Adam Carolla, Adam Carolla, you love cars. Cars aren't good for society for these reasons.
You'd be like, what are you talking about, screwball?
Yeah, I'd be like a pussy trying to get rid of my cars. Get rid of his cars. His manly sounding, muscle cars.
Yep.
And it's I don't know. Let's move on. We got to talk about so many things with Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
So we talked about Man Show. We talked about Loveline.
Talked about his weird cars.
We need to talk about his new podcast, right? Just the Adam Carolla Show.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the first podcasts.
It really was, because this guy's been doing radio for decades, and I hate to hand it to him. He can speak for hours with energy and zeal. It's not stuff I want to hear, but it is a skill he has.
He works in quantity and not quality.
Yes.
Which, whatever. It's a talent. He knows how to tell jokes. Whatever. They're jokes. Yeah. They have the format of joke and people laugh at them. And I'm not going to say that he doesn't tell jokes.
No. So you work in a dental lab. Yep. So you did, well, first off, you weren't in high school going, one day, I'm going to be in a windowless room mixing up plaster of Paris and making dental dams for the elderly.
No, I think he's better with conversational banter than he is with actual joke writing.
He's not a bad interviewer.
No, he's not.
I think he talks to the person a little bit. He doesn't listen, right? But he listens, but then he disagrees.
Yeah,
and
and tries to convince them to see his worldview.
Right, which is fine. Which is a sign of a good interview. He's been doing it long enough. He better be good at it.
Yeah.
And that's why he gets normal people to show up on his podcast occasionally. Mm-hmm. Right. I wouldn't say he's a respected celebrity, but I think people, can go in and talk to Adam Carolla and not be get mud in their eye a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, he will pull his right-wing bullshit, and I think the guests he do have do skewer to the right a little bit, or at least comfortable with the right wing liking them. I'm not comfortable with the right wing liking us at all.
No, but he's not going to get Wallace Shawn on his podcast.
No.
I mean, but he might get, say, a Jimmy Kimmel liberal or a Sarah Silverman liberal,
both of which have been on there,
right? The Gen X liberal, which is not to harp on. By the way, I hate generational conversations. I think they're pretty worthless. But like, the style of liberal where it's like, I do want to wear blackface, but I also think that gays should exist. It's like, okay. But it's not that I hate black people. I think we should be allowed to say what we want to say. So libertarians.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Libertarian liberals. He can have on their show. And like, he's been doing it for ages now. Like 15, 20 years? Like since there were podcasts. Since podcasts were on iPods.
Mark Maron, Joe Rogan, they've been doing it since the start.
Yeah, he's a Joe Rogan style character for sure. I listened to that for preparation. Like
Joe Rogan?
No, not Joe Rogan.
I was gonna say, God damn.
No, I would never. He's too large of a topic. But like, I listened to a couple Adam Carolla episodes.
Yeah, they're not good.
They're not good. Like, I get that it's hard to talk for 2 hours and come up with like heaters all this time. But like
No, it's not. Listen to us. Here, let's do Adam Carolla versus Joe Biden. Go.
Okay.
You're gay. You're gay.
What's that, Joe Biden or Adam
You're
Carolla?
gay, Joe Biden.
You're gay, Joe Biden. You're gay, Joe Biden. See, Joe Biden's dead. We don't talk about Joe Biden anymore. He left.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'll do my new dead Joe Biden.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Ready?
Yeah. Wow. Effective.
I love dead Joe Biden.
Wow, like, I hate Joe Biden,
He does hate Joe Biden.
Well, okay, so let's talk about his right-wingingness.
Okay.
What check boxes on the right wing does he check off?
Alt-right.
Okay.
Libertarian.
Yes.
The one thing that really got me is he doesn't believe in equity. Like, I wish I had clipped it, but it made me so mad I turned it off. On one of his episodes, he's like, no, people shouldn't be born in the same spot. You should have to earn it. Black people don't have it any harder than us. It's like, oh, he's one of those.
Oh, yeah. No, that's part of his stand-up bit, right?
Uh-huh.
He's a big meritocracy guy.
Yeah.
Right?
And he's like, no, it's like you have to work hard to earn your place here. If you don't earn it, you're nothing. And it's like,
I don't think he's like super homophobic. I think that he panders to that crowd.
Yeah.
Right? I like, based on the jokes that he has told about like, any sort of queerness, I think that he knows how to make those jokes, but I don't think I think he has a couple of gay friends and it makes him feel bad. Mm-hmm. But he still says the joke, which is why we're talking about him, honestly. Like, if he was just a sellout, it's fine. There's plenty of sellouts, right? But I think that the way he sells people out, the way that he's doing things that he knows are bad, but does them anyways because that's his bit.
And the people lap it up.
Oh, yeah. No, they love it, right? And, like, I don't think that he's homophobic. I think he's homophobic. I don't think that he hates people hates gay people and queerness to the degree that the right does.
No, I think he doesn't want them thrown into the people grinder, but he doesn't mind making the people grinders laugh.
Yes. He does want to throw other races in the people grinder. He is a racist.
And women. He does want to throw women in the people grinder real bad.
That's right. If you're a minority and a woman or both, you're going into the Adam Carolla, the Ace Man grinder.
Stereotypes only stick if they're true. Otherwise, they don't stick. How else would they stick? Use your brains. Does that mean every Asian is good at math and bad at driving? Of course not. Does it mean a disproportionate number of them are? Yes. Otherwise, it would not stick.
I don't know why you're always like hating on women, and you're always like, they don't know anything. Like maybe.
Well, look, here's the deal. I like the ladies.
Okay.
They're better. They're better at certain things.
Better at most things.
No.
Better,
please. So
better
we've been
things.
no, not most things. Not
no,
nearly,
you and I argue about this.
Not nearly most things.
Use more of their brain more of the time.
They use more of their brain, like a handicapped person uses more of their wheelchair. They have to try harder. They're at a handicap. No, they are.
No.
It's over for you.
God, Ace Man is so stupid.
It's like, that's the most stereotypical man nickname. It's from fucking Top Gun, you fucking baby.
Yeah.
You fucking stupid, unoriginal baby. What would your nickname be?
Gander.
Gander?
The sequel to Goose.
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Wait, you don't like that? What's yours?
My nickname? Let's see. Probably Whisper.
So if we were on the same Top Gun team, it's like, watch out, Gander and Whisper.
They'd be so scared of our ass.
Yeah, no, like, you know, it's a.
I was worried when I saw there was one called Gander, but I'm confused and more worried about one called Whisper.
Here's our move: we sidle up next to them and then leave. It's like, we can get you. We're not gonna.
We won't.
That's right. It keeps them on their toes.
Yeah, we're abusers.
Yeah, no, I would kill myself in a goose style way, though. You know, I would try to eject and break my neck. Where were we?
The right wing boxes that Adam Carolla checks.
Oh yeah, no. Homophobic, but doesn't want to throw him in the people grinder. Misogynist, definitely.
Yeah,
he's the hardest misogynist I've seen in a while. I cannot think of people that
it hurts so much.
He's as far on that far right on that spectrum as you can get. I think. It's kind of amazing.
In like the way cancer grows is kind of amazing.
I mean, yeah, like amazing isn't always a compliment.
Wow, that's incredible.
as I get eaten by a bear.
Us sitting there during the Adam Carolla stand-up comedy. Incredible.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. And maybe it's time to get into that.
So yeah, I took your Patreon money and bought Nate and I tickets to the Adam Carolla stand-up show here in sunny, progressive Eugene, Oregon.
God, how much were those tickets?
$35 a piece.
Okay. So
not bad.
$70 is what we took out of the hate speech coffers.
Yep.
To directly give to Adam Carolla to do hate speech.
Yeah.
Do you want to solve direct action? Why did we do that?
I thought it would be for good content, but instead it hurt my brain and my soul.
And we have proof of it. Now, live from the scene, past Tyler and Nate.
We're here, July 12th, 2023. 2024, what year is it? Doesn't matter. 2024. 7:20 p.m., 1920. We're sitting outside of a bar, Eugene, Oregon. We're about to see the Ace Man, Adam Carolla, stand-up comedy, and my first reaction to the crowd is, ew. Very white, very rich. It's like a convention for guys that wear cell phone holsters. Let me pass this along to Nate. Nate, your first thoughts.
I was genuinely shocked by people. Like, I don't go outside. I don't see the crowd that would go to an Adam Carolla show. And like, yeah, I saw a lot of Canadian tuxedos, but like well-tailored Canadian tuxedos. People with like well-groomed beards and mirror shades. And I saw a skullet. That was fun. And it's exactly who you think would show up to one of these things. And I just assumed that there'd be a more diverse crowd. I don't know why I thought that. I'm an idiot. But I'm not looking forward to this. Tyler, are you looking forward to this at all? Like, is there anything that you're just excited about?
As an OG Loveline, The Hammer, Crank Yankers fan, no, I've grown out of this. I hate it. I hate the man. I hate what he does. I hate what he stands for. But I saw so many fake leather slip-on shoes when we walked by the theater. It is, oh man, they're going to eat this slop right up. And we got really good seats. Really cheap tickets, really good seats. So, thanks to our patrons for paying for that. Fuckers. So, no, I'm not excited. Nate, what are your thoughts? What do you think's going to happen going in?
I don't know. I've been kind of anxious about this thing because I do feel like a little bit like a spy. Like, I was worried that I was just going to get like caught. And I still kind of feel that a little bit. But like, you know, I do think it's a crowd I can blend into by just being the most boring person imaginable. Actually.
So we were sitting outside of a bar called the Barn Light. I mean,
travel
back in time, you can find us.
Yep.
It's a nice little hipster coffee bar. We were having a beer and a shot because we're men like Adam Carolla.
A Kentucky Mountain Snack and a whiskey.
Yep, we did. That's exactly our order. And we kept noticing a certain type of people walking towards the theater.
Yeah.
People.
Okay, describe to me the average Adam Carolla stand-up attendee.
polo shirt tucked into cargo shorts with a cell phone holster, holding on to the saddest looking women, holding onto their hand for dear life.
Yeah, like the death grip kind of.
Yep.
There was a lot of...
That's when they had women. There were several groups where it was like 4 guys and then one guy holding his wife real hard.
Yeah.
It was very weird.
There was a lot of gender affirming signals out there for those dudes. Like, if they could grow a beard, it'd be the longest beard they could grow.
Mm-hmm.
If they couldn't, they'd be wearing the stunner shades.
Yep.
Wearing those Oakleys, get those wraparounds.
Always facing backwards.
Right. If they had a sleeve, American flag would be on it.
Yeah.
Not in the red, white, and blue as you would come to expect.
Nope. The black, the blue.
Right.
We stood in line trying to get a beer before the show.
Mm-hmm.
The line didn't move because every man was trying to hit on the bartender. That's not a joke. That's what was happening.
Yeah. We also ran into some, colleagues.
Yeah. So we're sitting at this outside bar watching people walk by, people watching, looking at these freaks we're about to go pretend to be part of.
I was afraid I would get recognized by somebody because I didn't want to be seen going into an Adam Carolla stand-up. I feel like, I would be put on a list.
Yeah, and immediately I see a coworker and his girlfriend heading there, and I'm like, oh no. Well, they didn't see us. That's good. One of my coworkers and his girlfriend just walked by, and they're going to the concert, or they're going to Adam Carolla. Oh no. Oh, no. There are stakes now. So we go into the theater. We run into them. They say hello. We're very polite. Like, they were very happy to be there at the show.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I talked to them. That's fine. Our seats were directly behind theirs.
Yeah.
And they lapped it up.
So the show itself, the opener, was, whatever. The opener was divorced guy hates his wife, just every stand-up guy that you can picture.
He said something pro-gay and the crowd booed.
Yeah, I forgot I think it was I don't hate gays, and that's what they booed.
Yeah, it was something, I think it was exactly that, and he lost the crowd then. It was over for him.
No, he brought it back, though, by talking about his bitch ex-wife and, women and, that when you make a mistake like that in front of a crowd, you just bring it back to the things they like.
Yeah. Which is racism, transphobia, and hating women.
Yep, that's right. The old standbys.
It was crazy because the theater was maybe half full, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Spread out enough. It did not sell out at all. I mean, I bought these tickets 3 weeks before the show and we got third row seats.
Yeah, and the fact that they were $35, that is kind of cheap, actually.
It's very cheap, yeah. And it's crazy because even though the house lights were off, it was still perfectly illuminated because the stage lights were shining off the bald heads.
Nice.
See, that's how you do it. But it wasn't full. I thought it was going to be, but sitting in front of my coworkers, man, and seeing them lap up the racism, transphobia, and misogyny was just...
It was a larger crowd than you would have expected from Eugene, Oregon, which is it is essentially just Portland, but more hippies. It is a very liberal city.
Yeah. Less diversity.
Less diversity, whatever. They both aren't very diverse.
I always tell people, Eugene, you will meet the most diverse population of white people with dreadlocks you've ever met before.
Yes.
That's Eugene.
That is. And I think this was a collective of all the right-wing chuds that exist in Eugene.
Yeah.
They wanted to get
car
together.
Dealership owners, the dentists.
That's right.
Contractors.
Nurses.
And
so the headliner came out and it was fine. He left. It wasn't great, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the Ace Man.
No, and here's what I think is so funny. Adam Carolla, Loveline, Man Show, Crank Anchors, Mr. Burcham.
Yes.
He has all these credits and the opener is and now the man you've been waiting for, you know him from the podcast with his name, Adam Carolla. And it's that's how you're juicing up Adam Carolla as the podcast guy?
It's probably the most popular thing now. It's not Mr. Burcham.
It's definitely not Mr. Burcham.
What is Mr. Burcham, by the way?
Let the record show I'm a dick. It's his show that he has tried for decades to get made, where he voices a high school like shop teacher who like is going to teach all these woke little fags about how to be a real man. Like that's.
When I was a kid, men were men. Now everyone's wrapped up in feelings.
It's somehow nicer the new norm.
God, the new norm. That theme song.
But
as the old norm.
Nobody liked Mr. Bertram.
I want straight beer.
The right wing didn't want Mr. Bertram because it was too weak on the left.
Yep.
The left obviously didn't want Mr. Bertram because it sucks.
But the Daily Wire,
they didn't like it either. It's got the one season.
They're making another one.
Are they really?
Well, all of his podcasts start with a more Mr. Bertram coming soon.
Really?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, but they used the Adam Carolla podcast to advertise to him. Like, and I can almost guarantee that crowd, nobody was there who just like, I remember Cranky Acres. They were there to see right-wing Adam Carolla.
They were.
And you could hear it in the way that they laughed at certain jokes and didn't laugh at other jokes.
Yeah, so you had a pretty, I'd say we had a pretty chilling experience.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat these noodles.
Okay. The first thing I said when I left the theater was I felt like I just watched Come and See. Like, I dissociated. That shit was bad. Like, not in a fun, bad way. Like, sometimes we do things as, like, a joke. And this was a thing we kind of did as a joke. I'm like, jeez. All right, I guess I'm going to sit through fucking Adam Carolla for an hour and a half. But there's so many things that surprised me, and really, the first note I wrote after I left was, I'm so sheltered. Like, I thought I kind of had an idea, but, like, it's another thing kind of seeing the shit in person. Like, it was everything you think it would be and worse. There was a malice to it that I was not expecting.
The biggest laugh of the night, I think, went to his bran muffin that identifies as a wedding cake joke. I think that was his biggest joke. I was not prepared for a headliner because there was an opener. I wasn't prepared for Adam Carolla to be so low energy, stumble through his jokes, pull out his notes, and read notes to us. He had a whole set of can't do this in LA, in which he dropped an N-word, an R-word, and an F slur.
Well, like, here's the worst part about it's not like, yes, he did drop the N-word, but he also dropped another N-word. He went digging, he found several N-words, and it was wild.
Directly behind us, there was a child, a toddler, saying goo goo gaga the whole show. And the parents were like, yes, black people don't have fathers, because that was a huge joke too.
I don't hang out with those crowds.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I went. I didn't want to go. And I wouldn't want to go again. But, like, I'm glad I went for, like, oh, yeah, these people exist moment. Where, because, like, I live in my little bubble sometimes. I think everyone does.
Yep.
I don't like hanging around chuds. And I forget what they're actually like in person sometimes. And what they're actually like in person is, like, they laugh a different way. Like, it's a hate laugh.
Yes.
Like, it is you described it as the laugh from Cape Fear.
It's exactly that.
Yeah. Right. It is I'm laughing to let everyone know that this person that disgusts me is funny to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
this is how much I love their pain. This is how much their suffering pleases me.
Right. It was always on the, like, black people make bad fathers jokes.
Yeah, or like when he actually said the N-word.
Yep, that's what got those laughs. And something I didn't know that apparently is still a fucking thing. By the way, all these jokes are jokes from, like, things that happened 20 years ago.
Yeah, there was.
He made a George W. Bush joke.
Yeah,
which I'm like,
the shoe throwing joke. It's like,
do you remember the content of the joke?
No.
So he was talking about the shoe thrower guy, who was actually a cool guy that does interviews still. I don't know if you've heard him. But anyways, He was talking about like, oh man, he was pretty good at throwing that shoe. He must have got a lot of practice stoning women.
Oh God, that's what it was.
Yeah, it was because he's Muslim and he's from Middle Eastern country, so they stone women.
Yeah, that's how he got so good at throwing shoes.
Women defender Adam Carolla.
And there has been
that got a big like Cape Fear laugh.
And I should mention, I haven't mentioned it, and I looked into the Adam Carolla Reddit. But the misogyny has gone up since his divorce. Like, he's become a much more vile, women-hating, overtly so person since his wife took half his money in his drink business. Because I tried to find Adam Carolla's candy wine mangria to drink on this episode, but you can't find it because it got discontinued when his wife got Adam Carolla drinks in the divorce and shut it down.
Okay, can you tell me more about this divorce? Like, what happened?
So as they said on Club Random in some of the stuff that I watched, Adam Carolla and his wife grew apart.
Okay.
And I think it's because Adam Carolla leaned right and his wife leaned progressive.
Sure.
Because in the interviews I read where Adam Carolla said, oh yeah, I never saw divorce as in the cards for me. I didn't think this was ever going to be a thing. Like, I don't think he thought his wife was allowed to divorce him because he brought in all the money. He did all this stuff.
Right.
And then they get divorced. As soon as he gets divorced, by the way, he fires his two sidekicks, tells them he's moving out of state and he can't afford them anymore, which he didn't do, and he still can. But he has to pay an extra $47,000 a month to his wife for alimony and child support, as well as
that's a lot of money.
She got a lot of his business and pieces of his business, but he fought very hard to keep his car museum.
I don't think she wanted the car museum.
No, but she took his drink company and closed it, which is
funny,
beautiful,
well earned.
And
could you imagine being married to Adam Carolla?
Oh God, no. And I haven't brought it up, but recently in his podcast, he's been talking about what he calls chick think.
Okay.
Which is where if you have any other type of thought that isn't linear, logical fact, you're a dumb woman with a baby brain and you're ruining America. Like, he'll play clips of women talk and he's like, here's why their brains are wrong.
I mean, that's not an unpopular opinion.
I mean, it is to me.
I mean, I'm not saying, why do you have to do that? I'm not agreeing with him.
I know.
I'm saying that there's this pervasive male dude think
Yep.
that is, women are just dumber. They don't think logically. I mean, like they're hysterical, right? Like, in the historical sense of hystericism, right?
Yes, the patriarchy has been used to make women be seen as stupid or more emotional.
Which is why also that group, like this specific group of like right-wing chuds go hard against the male feminist.
Yeah.
Right? It's because they see it as like a betrayal, right? Like this kind of like race traitor sort of thing. It's like, okay, yeah. What was it? I was listening to an Adam Carolla podcast and he was talking about like how women are like, his argument was that women are like a different species of dog, right? Like, oh yeah, the men are the pit bulls. They're the,
that's your Adam's coming along.
They're the bulldogs, and women they're more like the poodles or the corgis. They're just they think differently. They're kind of dumber.
They're loud bitches.
They're prettier, but they're kind of dumber. I'm sure there's like so many variations of that same argument he's made on this show, right? Where he doesn't connect with women. He doesn't see women as people, I think. Or he sees them as a different type of person.
Yeah, he sees them as less than.
They're from
means
Venus.
to an end.
They're from Venus, right? Like a different planet you can't understand.
Yeah,
them.
he's done the thing that insecure men do all the time, which is depersonalize and dehumanize women because, and this is the thing that any man who's grown up in America has to sort of unbrainwash, is that patriarchal thinking of, oh, women are so different and they owe me. Like, they owe me. It's that mentality. The
government should mandate us a girlfriend.
Yeah. Or coming at that from the left, doing sexual mutual aid. That's so funny to me.
I mean, yeah, like, I don't think it's a right-wing thing that happened.
No.
Like,
it's a patriarchal thing.
It is a patriarchal thing.
That you have to unlearn and unbrainwash. And Adam Carolla leans into not learning and being brainwashed.
Yeah. And, like, I'm developing a theory. Might be true, might not be true. I think he is generally okay with gay people because they're men.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he goes hard against lesbians.
Uh-huh.
But he appreciates lesbians because they're trying to be men. It gets complicated, though, right?
Yeah, there's some misogyny math here that just ain't working out.
Whereas his racism is very clear cut.
It's the whole white people drive like this, black people drive like this.
Right. And like for him, it's easier to say, like, okay, you know what? Like there's no spectrum there. It's, clearly white people are different than black people.
Well, here's the thing. Let me ask you this.
What?
When you worked around people, like, I work around people of different ethnicities.
Yeah.
And I'll see, for example, two Hispanic guys cracking Hispanic jokes at each other.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever. I'll make white jokes with my white coworkers. Like, you sort of get these light, ribbing, playful, like, jokes on stereotypes or tropes with coworkers. Like, that's how you get through the day.
Yeah.
And I think he did a lot of that as a contractor. And that was okay because you were all working. You were all under the boss.
You're all under the same team and there's mutual respect.
You're all trying to get through it. You're all joking. But he's just like still doing that. But he hasn't learned that he's just saying racist tropes now.
He got permission from one black guy.
Yes.
And now he's like, so this works for everyone, right?
Yes, that's exactly right.
It's like, he didn't realize, no, it doesn't, actually.
No, guess what, Adam? David Allen Greer took his N-word pass back, dude. You're done.
Yeah, like it goes back to this idea. It's all about context. It's about who you're around and who you're talking with and whether or not they're okay with that sort of thing or not.
Right.
You got to check first.
Yeah.
And you can't check when you're talking to a crowd.
No. But this crowd, fortunately, very white, hates every other people.
There was not a single, like, even if it was in a more diverse city, I don't think many black people would be showing up.
No. Like, I was looking. Like we were both looking because we had to know. We went, and it was 100% white. Awful.
Mostly male.
Yes, probably 85, 90% male.
Yeah. And
Alpha male.
And I'm not going to clear him on the homophobic thing because this was the thing that I was surprised to hear because that's still a thing in the right wing, which is the cake shop.
Oh, God, he did do the cake shop a bit.
Okay, so the cake shop, if you don't remember, because it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Was that there was a wedding cake store, a Christian wedding cake store, and a gay couple came in and was like, we would like a wedding cake. And he said, no, I will not make a wedding cake for you because you're gay. And I don't make gay wedding cakes. It's against my religion. And it was a whole thing back in 2004.
Yep.
And like it got settled and like, no, you have to make it because it's discrimination. And, which I agree with. It is discrimination.
It is discrimination. Yeah. You're not allowed to discriminate. That is a law.
Right. Yeah.
You can say, no, we don't make that. But you can't say, no, we don't make that because you're gay.
Yeah. And I think I wouldn't worry about getting much gay business.
Yep. Nope.
Cake shop. But anyways, like that's still a talking point for the right wing. Because they see that as a major loss and DEI going too far or, whatever slang they use.
Do you remember his transphobic joke about his own cake shop?
No, what was the joke?
It was, he said if any of those gays walked in and said, I need a gay wedding cake, that he would pull a bran muffin out from under the counter and say, this identifies as a cake.
Yeah, the crowd loved that.
They loved that shit.
They lapped it up. It's also a recycled joke.
It's all like tropes.
Well, it's also all 20 years ago. Like I think that he hasn't written stand-up in a while.
It's the same attack helicopter joke that they all tell online that's always been the same bullshit.
Yeah, because like they're not getting new fodder. They're not getting new blood into the right wing. Like it's just people repeating the same joke and going, ha, 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 ha. Right?
Well, like do their laugh right.
No, I'm not. Well, they didn't laugh like that all the time because some of the jokes were just bad and they would give a polite.
Well, yeah.
Huh.
Here's the real thing that I thought was so pathetic. Adam Carolla, one, had no energy as a stand-up.
Yeah.
Was reading note cards, and then he would tell a joke, and then multiple times he said, but y'all understand how that is a joke in theory, right?
Yeah.
You understand how that joke was crafted. Like you get the idea that that's a joke, and once you're at that point, dude, you're done.
Yeah. He also made a joke about how much time do I got left? Let me look at the clock there. Like he wanted out.
He did want out so bad.
He doesn't want to be doing this.
No. And I think the most telling part was at the very end of his show when he's like, yeah, I was hanging out with my friend Jimmy Kimmel, and the crowd booed. Boo. I mean, you have a boo button. I don't know why you didn't hit it.
No, I don't.
Or is it just a cheer?
Yeah.
I thought you had a boo.
I have children cheering.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, no, it would be like... Get some crickets.
Yeah, but it was like boo, boo, boo. And then Adam Carolla just looks down and he's like, no. Jimmy's a good guy. He's a little misguided. I kind of owe my entire career to him, honestly. Like, that's the truth. He's a good guy. And it's like
they still boo. They're like, no, boo.
Booed. And I felt so sad because I thought, what if I was up there in his shoes and I had to say that about you?
Yeah.
Like, you're selling out your best friend. That's like that's what got you in Dante's deepest layer of hell, was selling out your loved ones.
Yeah, like he was talking about life experience. He wanted to make the dick joke.
Yeah.
And the way you tell the dick joke is you have to talk about his friend.
Yep.
Because he hangs out with Jimmy, probably still.
Yeah, they live near each other. They still live near each other. They're friends.
They're friends. And like, what does that tell you about you if the crowd that went and paid money for your show hates your best friend?
Yeah.
Like that's a bad sign, dude.
Yeah. It's like he gave up any chance of humanity or anything for the artifice of hate. And
it's sad.
It's very sad.
Right? Like,
but also fuck him.
Well, yeah, he deserves it. I can say that's sad and you deserve the punishment.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a dog that eats a baby. It's like but like,
it's sad, but he's a really good boy.
You're like, yes, we have to put you down, and that is sad. But also, you did eat a baby. I mean, like, like he's selling out to these people. Like, I think he does have these beliefs. I'm not saying that this is totally fake, but he double downs on it because he knows that this is his bread and butter. He craves the attention like all celebrities do.
Yep.
And this is how he gets it.
And it pays the bills he has to pay because of fucking divorce.
The $45,000 a month. But like what tipped me off though was that he told a joke that didn't land. I forget the joke because it didn't land.
Yep.
But then he saw that he was losing the crowd, and so what he did was, well, at least I'm not trying to say that I'm gonna turn myself into a girl. He doubled down and he got like, they're like, oh, those fucking trans. Like he went deep into it, and like the crowd went like, woo.
Yeah, there was the wave.
They were hooting.
They were those hogs were eating that slop so bad.
They hooted it up, and it was like, oh, you're telling that. I don't think I know that you're lying.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this isn't a thing based in anger because you just knew that you were losing the crowd, and that's taking them back.
You lost them, so you went for the basest urges of these hateful fucking pricks.
Right. And it's like, I know that you say these things sometimes, but like, I think he does it during stand-up because he knows it's not being recorded.
Right.
Right? Like, like nobody has their phones out recording this thing.
I wish we had recorded during, but I was like, I'd never seen a more open carry crowd on the planet.
Honestly, yeah. Like the crowd was getting like rowdy at a point, right? Like I think he was doing some crowd work and a lady was talking for too long, and this guy in the back says, "Shut the fuck up! It's not your show, bitch!" Like
they were yelling "bitch" at this woman. Like the crowd wanted to kill this woman.
Yeah, and like. You could tell he's like, well, hold on, don't, he was trying to calm the situation down because he knew.
Yeah, the leopards eating their face. He still has them not eating his face.
Yeah, he's the lion tamer here, right? Like he like, yes, I need to dance for these lions, but like it's just, I don't know. I'd be worried in that situation.
It's like. And he has to lean into it, especially like
he's getting that praeger money, It's the
praeger money. That's the whole thing.
He's getting praegers.
He did. How Adam get praeger? Jesus.
He is submissive and breedable. Like, yeah, I think that he just doesn't have any like morals or ideology that he's willing to defend.
No, not in any real kind of way, because I mean, if he can't learn new things.
If you gave him enough money, he would actually say like he would become trans. Like I think that he whatever gets him the most benefit, he'll do.
He doesn't say no to much.
No, and like so like he got money from the right, and so now he's doubling down on his probably already existing right wing, philosophies. I don't know why I'm defending him so much. I feel like I'm trying to explain it because I don't think that. He doesn't have the vitriol that like normal chuds do.
No, it's artifice to sell tickets to get him money, which is despicable because at least the people that want to throw us in the people grinder, they're honest.
Yeah.
Like, it's better that I'll fucking kill you than I'll wait for you to die kind of thing.
Yeah, it's more of a casual sort of bigotry.
And it's like, he's no angel. Like, the woman I talked about that he fired.
Yeah.
He was like, that woman said, yeah, it was mandated to get it on, she had to go on tour with him everywhere and be a part of the show everywhere.
Yeah.
And she's like the only woman there, and she would get left alone with these men. And she said, I feel unsafe a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And he's like a horrible, mean boss. Like, I've read people, it's like, oh yeah, I went backstage at the Carolla show and everybody was afraid to talk to him. Like, it was very quiet and weird. So he's like,
he's no angel.
He's awful.
Yeah.
He's despicable. And the fact that there is a comedian willing to run defense for legitimate right-wing hate.
Like Jimmy Kimmel?
Also Jimmy Kimmel. But I mean, like the PragerU stuff, the Daily Wire stuff. Like, Adam Carolla is a more mainstream face for anybody else in the Daily Wire, really.
Yeah.
Because he's had some mainstream liberal credentials. Like, Adam Carolla wrote some of the Oscars with Jimmy Kimmel. Loveline was huge.
Yep.
Like, Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew. That was, like, Adam Carolla is like the first step to the right for people that can be funneled into this PragerU nonsense.
Yeah, and they need those people because it's not going to be Ben Shapiro.
No.
Like, Jordan Peterson can trick some very troubled youths into the right wing.
Yeah.
Adam Carolla gets them with the misogyny, I think. It's the man show.
The man show. Like,
it's the man show
because
shit.
there's men our age who grew up watching that who never broke out of that part of themselves. And I'm sure we can probably think of some examples of people we know in our life that are like that.
And people listening probably can think of those people too,
Yeah.
where like they went to junior high and, you know, they were being shitty edgelords and they never grew out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, it's not defense of shitty edgelords. You can tell them to eat shit because they do suck.
Yeah, they can fuck right off.
But know that they can grow out of it.
Yeah, we see you, Bob.
But like, so that, yeah, he is the face of like the modern Daily
the adult
Wire
edgelord who never grew up.
Right. He's the funny one that should have written Lady Ballers.
Jesus.
Or Mr. I guess Mr. Bertram is what that is.
That's his thing, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
The fact that he got Danny Trejo and Patrick Warburton.
I mean, but they're both like not surprisingly right wing.
Right.
You know, like I'm sure Danny Trejo is not cool with the gays.
We'll see. I was going to look into Danny Trejo after hearing that Mr. Bertram ad probably 60 times.
Yeah. I just feel like he's a gateway drug too. This is why like all of the properties that we are talking about here, we want to also do episodes on.
Yeah, because they're pernicious, they're evil.
And they're popular.
They're popular, and they're stuff that we liked. Like, I loved Loveline.
Right.
I was a Carolla fan.
Yeah, this is the right-wing equivalent of the Marxist professor, right? Like, is that we get, you know, because like when you're a youth and you're like, oh man, I don't know what sex is, I'm going to listen to Loveline.
Right.
Right? You got to get it somewhere. You got to get it on. And so
the mandate to get it on.
You have to get it on. And like Loveline was interesting.
Yeah.
There were things that were interesting there, but like, they would sneak the gunpowder into the food a little bit.
Okay, you really like Trap.
No, actually, I was thinking of Metal Gear Solid when they talk about the gunpowder in the food. That's how they got Jack. And it doesn't matter.
Solid Snake Simulation. The S3. Sorry.
It doesn't matter. I think that he's like one of few right-wing comedians that I think knows how to tell a joke.
Yeah, he can be funny. He can tell jokes.
He knows the structure of a joke.
And I think he understands a certain type of person very well.
It's just the light of comedy has died inside of him.
Yes.
And unless you also have no heart, you're not going to find that shit funny.
No, like I couldn't. There was not a single joke that I laughed at or smiled because, as you mentioned, and they had mentioned a meet and greet afterwards.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a hate speech picture with Adam Carolla.
We should have.
No, I think your idea of we need to get the fuck out of here right now was the right call.
That was just my immediate feeling. Like I hated that. It more the audience than Adam, I think.
Yeah.
Which
no, seeing them laugh and cheer for blood.
Yeah, like if I stood up there and said, I'm gay, I would be probably like escorted out of the theater.
They would stone you to death.
Yeah, like it was that kind of vibe, and that sucked. That was not a good environment to be in. No. I needed a safe space away from that shit.
Well, according to Adam and old praeger, there's no safe spaces.
But that was a safe space for the right. Like, I think that's part of what was going on there, is that Eugene is such a liberal city that they needed a safe space to kind of get their, to vent.
And like a running through line from that No Safe Space movie was, you know what? They all got really mad when I said trans people should be getting killed. There's no, like, they're not allowing right-wing thoughts on campuses. Like, dog.
Yeah, you're wanting a safe space. You're wanting a space to say these things and not get pelted with rocks.
Yeah. The world's moved on, dog. We don't need you.
Yeah, ultimately what they want is freedom of consequences. It's why they love the freedom of speech amendment and not really understanding what that entails.
Yeah.
It's like, you can say it and not be arrested, but people will actively dislike you.
Yeah, people will know what you've done, heard what you've said, and your life will be worse because of it.
They'll protest you because they don't like the things you said.
Yep.
And Adam Carolla's the face of that. He's the one that they carted out for that movie to be like, no, it'll be a fun movie, you guys. We got Adam Carolla from The Man Show.
And he's barely in that fucking thing. It's all praeger sitting there smoking a cigar, and everybody's saying, Dennis Praeger, he's so brave.
Well, it's because the fucking right needs celebrities. It needs a face to draw in people, right? Because they're tired of preaching to the choir. I'm almost guaranteeing it. Like, the people that are on that side are already on that side.
Mm-hmm.
How are they going to get more people in?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know any young conservatives, really.
That's why they're trying Mr. Burcham. They're trying to make a Family Guy. Because Family Guy, like, it was popular.
Yeah, there's too many nice gays and transes and blacks and
whatever. I'm not here to defend Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy's no angel, but I mean, South Park already exists. They want their edgelord, right-wingy, libertarian shit. It's South Park.
Yeah. Did we cover Adam Carolla? Like,
I think we did. Like you said, he's a gateway drug to a much worse universe that we're gonna have to explore.
And also, I feel that like his misogyny is really heinous.
Yeah, like we should cut in a bit of chick think.
And I've been screaming into this microphone for a long time about it, and everyone gets angry at me. But chick think, not a good thing. Chick think is good for like raising kids and nurturing and making chick female
thing. Okay,
female thing.
Okay.
And so couple things. I want to be clear. I live in Los Angeles. Gavin Newsom thinks like a chick, and Garcetti, our mayor, thinks like a chick. These are chicks. Okay, so chick think is not limited to having a vulva. There's plenty of dudes with plenty of chick think dudes out there. Most Hollywood dudes, most actors in Hollywood, chick think. Now, I don't know if they actually think that way or they're just trying to keep their job, but it's a chick think thing. And the thing about the chick think is once it gets pervasive, we just saw it with the nut jobs on the squad yesterday. It's like crying and caterwauling and screaming, no! And then the allegation, the woman of color. There's a woman of color.
Yeah.
It's
they're just emotional.
They're emotional. We just went through it with Barbara Ferrer and COVID. Rochelle Walensky. We got fucked in the ass by COVID because we had too many chicks thinking like chicks going, I got a bad feeling. I think we should close everything. I don't need that. I need policy.
Adam, what I think is like women make the rules of society, men make the rules of business. And what's going on is that they're trying to take these rules of society and applying it to business.
Right.
And people who do it fail miserably because it's all based on emotion.
The homeless should be treated with dignity.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what that means, bitch. Right.
I'll find a clip because it's...
Well, and also, like, what sucks is that, like, I do relate with him on a couple things. He likes bad movies. Yeah, he likes Stallone. So I like Stallone.
I was listening to him talk to Eric Roberts about the movie Runaway Train. It's like, oh man, I fucking love Runaway Train.
Right?
So does Adam Carolla. This sucks, dude. But it's like, I don't know, man.
People, I think what it is that there are certain topics that I think can live outside of political spheres, even though like they're always, hey, they're political tones to Cobra.
Yeah.
The Stallone movie.
Which
if you really look for it.
I don't think Adam Carolla got that at all.
Yeah, and for me, I'm like, I can look past it and like say like, oh man, this is weird. Because of course it's a Hispanic guy doing the initial robbery.
Right.
He wants drugs.
Yes.
Right. And like it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I enjoy a Stallone movie every now and then. He has a weird fetish for robots.
He really needs to make Tulsa King with robots.
Well, I mean, like in 2 movies, there's active relationships with robots, romantic relationship with robots. Cobra. And
He was on something.
What was Rocky 3?
Rocky 4.
Rocky 4 had the robot. That's not the point. The point is that like you can relate to some of the like I can't relate to Ben Shapiro in any way. There's nothing that me and that guy has in common.
Well, yeah,
or
you
Jordan
can't-
Peterson.
You
or
can't get women wet.
Wait, me?
It was a joke. You're a well-known slime aficionado on this podcast. Don't worry.
Now I'm worried. Whatever. Like, I guess what I was trying to say is like there are things in Adam Carolla I can relate to, and I could have a polite conversation with Adam Carolla about.
And I think Adam Carolla would have a polite conversation outside of his performing on a podcast or stand-up. That's the real fucked up thing.
Anything else of those Daily Wire like golems.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever have any polite conversation with any of those people.
No. What are you going to talk to Jordan Peterson about? The Chinese dick-sucking machine?
I mean, actually, it wouldn't be polite, but I would be fascinated by it. Let's put him on the list.
Okay.
Whoop.
Oh, we ended the show.
I almost ended the show. If it finished, we'd have to stop. So we're good. We got him on the spectrum. Hey, where would you put him on the spectrum?
So I think he's complicated. Like, I know we use the whole, does this thing on the list have bodies? And I don't think Adam Carolla has any bodies. I mean, maybe in the same way that all celebrities have a little bit of child brain blood that they drink.
Yeah, I don't think he's like a Buffalo Wild Wings.
No, but also
he didn't get like I don't think Adam Carolla has actively killed someone.
No, but here's the thing though, dude. Adam Carolla creates a like smiling, joking face that runs cover for the patriarchy, which in turn allows young misogynists to keep perpetuating patriarchy and misogyny, which does lead to abused, destroyed, killed women.
He's the gray pill that leads to the black pill.
Yeah, and that's a particularly pernicious piece of shit.
It is. He's worse than Mr. Beast, I think.
I think because
he's worse than a Susie Orman, I think.
I think those are both true.
He's worse than Small Talk.
He's definitely worse than Small Talk because that's all he is. Like,
I think he is worse than Buffalo Wild Wings because I think he's not like a Tim Pool where like he's like encouraged people to shoot people.
No, it's like the whole, hey, I'm whispering these things to you in the guise of a joke. Shouldn't we kill these people? Hey, I'm pandering to you. Don't you like when I say we should kill these people?
I don't think he's saying that.
No.
He's hanging out with those people and giving them like, a credence.
He's giving them credence, and he's giving these like hateful monster chuds that we live near, that we work with, a safe space to feel joy in their hatred. And I think that's evil as fuck.
It's normalizing too. Like,
it is normalizing.
People feel normal when there's also people on your side that are like famous comedians, right? When it's like, no, you shouldn't feel normal. You should feel weird. They don't like that word.
They don't like that word because they are fucking weird.
They should feel weird.
I got a coworker who brags that they used to be a child sex detective, and I'm like, what? Why would you tell people you used to get paid to look at kiddie porn all day, you fucking disgusting freak?
Yeah. That's not
also a huge transphobe. Could you believe it?
I would look at his computer.
I would too. There's a reason he got fired and it's not a cop anymore, and I wonder what it could be.
So is it below or above child actors?
The actual system of abuse or someone who perpetuates the system?
System of abuse. Child actors. I think that's where it's around that zone.
He's
I think
right in there
because I don't think he's worse than big trucks. Actually,
I don't think he's worse than big trucks. I think he's. So it goes what? Hitler, big trucks, child actors?
No. It goes Hitler, transphobia, being fat in society, big trucks, and then child actors.
I'd put him between child actors and big trucks. That's right.
I think so too.
I think running cover and providing safe haven for literal demons and monsters is bad.
Yeah. So congratulations to our new number 13, Adam Carolla. You're in good company. Somehow you're worse than child actors.
He is, right?
Yeah, no, I think so. I think he gives permission to people that want to hire child actors. Wink, nod, vomit. Whatever.
Let's have some more soup, dude.
Yeah, go back to what's the color of your soup now?
It's definitely a greenish brown. It looks like some, when you have like food that really messes with you and it creates an evil cauldron in your toilet, it looks a lot like that.
Hate speech, motherfucker, hate speech. Hate speech, motherfucker, hate speech. Hate speech, motherfucker, hate speech. Hate speech, motherfucker.
I'm not gonna finish mine. I'm not gonna eat all of mine. You want mine?
Hate speech, motherfucker, hate speech. Hate speech, motherfucker, hate speech. Hate speech, motherfucker, hate speech. Hate speech, motherfucker, hate speech.
61 carbs. I'm gonna eat the whole goddamn thing.
And ashwagandha in lion's mane and nootropics.
Magic Mind.